Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're looking at a case where the fight isn't just against an alleged crime, but against the very system that's supposed to provide justice. We're going to follow the documents that allege a battle on two separate fronts. Okay, let's just start with this. This quote from a formal complaint to the European Commission. Wow. It really sets the stage, doesn't it? It gets right to the heart of the matter we're exploring today. What happens when the system designed to protect you is accused of being the weapon used to destroy you? So, as the documents describe it, this is a war being fought on two fronts at the same time. The first front is the fight against what's described as relentless, high-tech torture. And the second, well, that's the grueling battle to get anyone in a position of authority to even listen. To really get a handle on the legal fight, you first have to understand the crime being alleged at its core. And it's a big one. The filings claim a massive violation of human rights, the non-consensual surgical implantation of a brain-computer interface, a BCI-AI device, which is then allegedly used for round-the-clock remote torture. So what happens when you try to report a crime of this magnitude? Well, according to these documents, you hit a wall, a total wall of silence. The filings chronicle what they call a systematic pattern of refusal from every civilian authority they approached. And this slide really shows you the persistence that's documented here. I mean, look at this. We see attempts to file complaints with the Romanian police, the regular civil prosecutor's office, and not one but two different specialized anti-corruption agencies, the DNA and the DGA. It's a pretty clear paper trail of trying to do things by the book, at multiple levels. And the outcome, every single time, according to the application sent to the European Court of Human Rights, it was a complete shutdown. This wasn't just slow bureaucracy. The allegation is that it was a systematic refusal to even register the complaints. No case number, no investigation, nothing. Effectively just locking the door to the justice system. But, the story laid out in these documents doesn't stop with just being ignored. This is where it allegedly takes a really dramatic turn. The claim is that the institutions went from passive obstruction, just ignoring the problem, to active prosecution of the victim. And this, right here, this slide just lays out the central argument perfectly. On one side, you have these incredibly serious allegations of torture and illegal human experimentation, which are reportedly just ignored, systematically. On the other side, the same prosecutor's office is actively pursuing criminal charges against the victim for petty theft. So what's the explanation for these thefts? The complaint filed with the EU offers a pretty startling one. It argues these weren't acts of free will at all. Instead, it alleges they were induced by that BCI-AI implant as part of a psychological warfare tactic, a way to give the victim a criminal record and completely discredit him. Okay, so if every civilian door you knock on is slammed in your face, what do? Where do you go next? Well, according to the filings, the legal strategy had to take a major pivot. If the civilian justice system is compromised, the answer, apparently, was the military. Now that might sound like a huge leap, right? Why the military? It seems like an unusual move. But the legal documents actually provide a very clear, very detailed rationale for taking this specific path. The argument is actually pretty straightforward. It boils down to this. The kind of technology and methods being described here, we're talking classified BCI tech, sonic weapons, stuff that needs satellites and unregistered drones, that's just not in a regular criminal's toolkit. The filings argue this all points towards the capabilities of military or intelligence services, and that's what justifies military jurisdiction. And here, finally, we see a crack in the wall, a small breakthrough. After hitting that wall of silence from all the civilian authorities, the military prosecutor's office in Bucharest does something different. It formally acknowledges the complaint, it gives it a case number, and it forwards it to the proper military tribunal. But the legal battle was far from over. When a domestic system is alleged to have failed you, the next step is often to go bigger, to seek international help. So let's see how this case was taken to the global stage. Yeah, the documents show a massive, coordinated effort to get this in front of international bodies. I mean, look at this list. We're talking appeals to the United Nations expert on torture, the European Commission, the European Court of Human Rights, Interpol, plus major NGOs like Amnesty and Human Rights Watch. And every appeal detailed both the alleged torture and the claimed failure of the Romanian justice system. So, we've traced the documented path of this whole legal siege, from the very first local complaints all the way up to these international appeals. It's a story that raises some really serious questions about accountability, especially when the state itself stands accused. And that's really the fundamental challenge at the heart of this entire case. It forces us to ask what the rule of law even means when a citizen feels they have no choice but to seek justice on the global stage, because every single door at home appears to be closed. Thank you for joining us.